A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science to the online classes here. Students, we were doing the first chapter of our book Constitution at Work or the Indian Constitution at Work, and we had finished already 6 parts, but today we are going to start the 7th part. And in the last 2 parts we were doing rights in the Indian Constitution. Mostly what we were studying fundamental rights. What are the fundamental rights to the Indian citizens guaranteed by our Constitution? So we were taking each and every single right and we were trying to understand all the concepts related to that particular right in this particular chapter. So we started with right to equality. Later on we did right to freedom, and we read all the concepts related to it as it is a cluster of rights. Then we understood the importance of right against exploitation, and in the last video we also finished right to freedom of religion, and under that religion we also understood India as a secular state. So today I shall be doing right number 5, that is cultural and educational right, and right to constitutional remedies, that is the 6th and the final fundamental right in the Constitution. We will try and understand the meaning of these two particular rights also today in this particular video. So starting here with the cultural and educational rights, in this two important points are there which we shall try and understand in this particular topic. Under culture and education, in this education right, we have already understood and read under right to freedom that there is a educational right also, right to education. But this education right does not mean right to education. This is something else which we will study under this topic. So first of all we read protection of language, culture of minorities. So in this we'll read that as a India, as there is so much of diversity, different sections are there, different community, different groups, different people living in different regions with different languages, different customs, different we can say languages. So there is an importance that on the basis of equality, every culture, every language, every minority should be given equal status in our society according to the Constitution. So that is why culture and education right protection, in this we give protection to languages, people or a small group is speaking on a different language, or different following a different culture, customs, okay, or of minorities. Then we'll study about the rights of minority. What are the rights which minorities should have according to the Constitution? Constitution has given all these fundamental rights to all the citizens, but are they enforceable? Are they implemented properly? Are they being enjoyed by all the deprived classes of our society, all the society groups which are lacking behind? So rights of minority to establish educational institutions. So they can also have the right to establish educational institution to protect their culture or language. So it would be better if I read the NCERT books for you, and this is a very good examples also given here. So starting this is the 5th fundamental right for you which we are doing. So cultural and educational rights. So what do we understand? When we talk of Indian society, the image of diversity comes before our mind. So if we talk about Indian society, there is diversity in terms of language, culture, region, caste, color. There are so many differences between people, but still we are living in the same country and with following the same rules and regulation of our Constitution. So India is not made up of monolithic society. Monolithic society means all the people are following the same culture, same language, and belonging to same religion. But India is not monolithic. It is there is a lot of diversity in our country. We are a society that have had vast diversity. India is a society which has vast diversity. In such a society that is full of diversity, there would be social sections which are small in number. So when there is so much of diversity, different type of people living in India, different groups, different communities, it means there are some groups, some communities which are very small in number. So you must have read and studied about the application or some concept regarding the minorities and majorities in class 9th also and class 8th also. So majority means the community which is having the maximum number of people belonging to a community, and minority as the people are less as compared to the people following a particular religion of a country. Therefore one of the fundamental right is a right to minorities. So one important fundamental right is right to minorities to maintain their culture. So some rights have been given to the people minorities who are very less in number in society, who are following a separate religion or some language or some regional space. So to give them protection, to give them equality, to protect their heritage, customs, and their culture, they are given this right under culture and educational right. This minority status is not dependent only upon religion. So we can say this, we are talking about minorities, less number of people in numbers as compared to majority of people. We are not talking about religion. It is not related to only religion. In fact, linguistic and cultural minorities are also included in the provision. So when we are talking about this particular right, cultural and educational right, so in this not only minorities are according to the religion, but the linguistic and cultural minorities are also included in this provision. Minorities are groups. So now what are minorities? Minorities are such group that have common language or religion. A small group which is following a common language, speaking the same language, or following the particular religion, and also living in a particular part of a country, a fixed part, geographical location in a country. Okay, they are outnumbered by some of the social sections. So they are outnumbered means they are too less as compared to the other social sections or the other communities in the society. They are very less in number. It doesn't mean if they are less, they are in minority, they will be deprived of the basic rights given by the constitution. So we have to protect their language, we have to protect their culture. For this particular cultural right has been given by the constitution to these deprived societies. Such communities have a culture, a small in number, but still they are very small in number, but they have a culture, they have a language and a script of their own. Okay, and have a right to conserve and develop these. And so according to the constitution, India is a country where every citizen is treated with equality, given all the fundamental rights. So they have the right to conserve and develop these. They will be getting the right to conserve their heritage, their culture, their language, their place, their geographical location. Okay, they shall not be discriminated on the basis of that they are just a minority, they are too less in number as compared to other social sections in the society. All minorities, religious or linguistic, we are talking about the people who are too less in number, whether in terms of it can be religious group or it can be based on linguistic group, can set up their own education institution. Now another right which is being given to them by the constitution, according to this fundamental right, a particular minority group belonging to any religion or caste or language can set up their own educational institution. They can start their education institute. By doing so, why? By doing so, they can preserve and develop their own culture, to protect their culture, to pass on the traditions of their culture to the young generation. They can start an educational institution. The government will not, while granting aid to education institutes, discriminate. When the government is giving the aids or helping financially all the education institutes around the world or around the country, they will not discriminate against any education institution based on it. So education institution based on the minorities to protect and conserve their religious or culture or customs, they will not be discriminated. They shall also be given the financial help equally as the other institutions under the management of minority community. So this was the right which we were reading, particularly cultural and educational right. Now I'll move to the next right. Moving forward now, this is the, I would say, the most important right as a fundamental right which is given to each and every citizen to protect its other rights, the fundamental rights. Right to constitutional remedies. We shall try and understand the meaning of this particular right and why it is so important as a fundamental right. So first of all, heart and soul of the constitution. So this right to constitutional remedies is called the heart and soul of the constitution. Why? Because of this right, the other 5 rights are meaningless, because this is the only right which protects the other 5 rights. If any of the upgiven rights we have studied, fundamental rights, is violated by anyone, this is the right that constitutional remedies gives an opportunity to the individual or citizen to go to the court in a case there some fundamental rights have been violated. So this is the rights which give them the right to raise their voice against any violation made against their fundamental rights. It's written right to move the court to issue directions. So according to rights to constitutional remedies, it is also having the rights to move the courts to issues, directions, orders, rights of informants of right. So they can give, according to this right, courts can issue directions orders or rights for enforcement of right. So the rights, fundamental rights, are to be given orders, or orders for enforcement or directions to the government, that how the government should work to protect the rights of its citizens. Okay, under this we shall be studying rights for enforcement of right. The court can issue various special, these are some of the special orders which the court can order if there is violation of any right of the citizen, or we can say if there is any violation of the fundamental right of the Indian citizens, the court can issue these type of orders, and these orders are called rights, WRITS. These are the first. I will explain this in your NCERT books. I have just written the names. We'll try and understand. This is the first right, which is given by the court to protect the rights of the citizens. Habeas corpus. Second is mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto, certiorari. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of rights which we are going to study under this topic. Then I will also tell you under right to constitutional remedies what is National Human Rights Commission and why it is so important in today's time. So here it is in your NCERT book. This is the last and the final fundamental right. We shall try and understand it. Right to constitutional remedies. So one would agree that our constitution contains a very impressive list of fundamental rights. Of course, we have very impressive fundamental rights which we have gone through till now. This is the sixth one and the last one. But merely writing down a list of rights, it does not enough. So just writing it down in the constitution that these are the fundamental rights given to the constitution, that's not enough. There should be a proper provision to enforce those particular rights for their citizens. There should be some platform where these can be implemented properly. There has to be a way through which they could be realized in practice. So they should be brought up in practice and defended against any attack on these rights. If there is any violation or any attack on the rights of the citizen, there should be a proper practice and there should be a proper method to defend and protect the rights, these fundamental rights of their citizens. So here, right to constitutional remedies is a means through which this is to be achieved. So to protect the rights of the citizen, it is only the right to the constitutional remedies which is the mean through which these is to be achieved. This is to be achieved mean to protect the rights of the citizens. It is the duty of the constitutional remedies, right to constitutional remedies, to defend the rights of all the citizens if there is any attack or violation of the rights of its citizen. Dr. Ambedkar considered the right of constitutional remedies at the heart and the soul of the constitution. So there can be a 1 mark question also like this. Who said that in right to constitutional remedies is the heart and soul of the constitution? So you must know Dr. Ambedkar. It is also because this right gives a citizen the right to approach a high court. Because under this particular right to constitutional remedies, every citizen has the right to approach to High Court or the Supreme Court. We can go to High Court or Supreme Court under right to constitutional remedies if there is violation of any of the given fundamental rights to its citizens. To get any of the fundamental right restored in case of their violation, one and the same thing which I have explained. The Supreme Court and the High Courts can issue orders and give directives to the government. So in case of the violation, what does the Supreme Court do? If they find someone guilty of violating the fundamental rights of some citizens, the Supreme Court gives, or the High Court, they give direction to whom? They give directions to the government for the enforcement of the rights. They give some directions and the methods that how these rights should be enforced by the government. Of course, they are there in a list, they are written in the constitution, but there should be some mechanism to enforce such rights. The courts can issue various special. So what are the methods which the government can enforce some rights if there is violation of the fundamental rights? So the court issues various special order known as rights. Remember this. So the court, Supreme Court or the High Court, they will they will direct the government, they will give some special orders, and these some special orders are called rights. So we'll try and understand one by one. What do we understand by these rights? First one is habeas corpus. So we'll understand what is this concept of habeas corpus or with this application. A right of habeas corpus means that the court orders that the arrested person should be presented before it. So no one's personal life and liberty should be violated, as everyone has that particular fundamental right, right to freedom. So it is the order of the court that the right habeas corpus means court's order that arrested person, any person who is accused and has been arrested for any particular crime, he shall be presented before the court. It can also order to set free. So the court will decide and can set free any arrested person if the manner or the grounds of arrest is not lawful. If the manner or the crime or the purpose for which a particular citizen had been arrested, if that method was lawful or was not lawful or was not satisfactory, in that case they will free the arrested person. But if he or she is found guilty, then they shall be arrested and for the further proceedings. So this is the right given to a particular person who has been arrested. First, court sees that on which ground they have been arrested, what crime they have done, and if they are arrested, were they arrested in a lawful or a satisfactory manner or not. Now the second one is mandamus. This right is issued when the court finds that a particular office holder is not doing legal duty and therefore is infringing on the rights of an individual. Here they are saying if anyone is showing its monopoly as he's an officer, okay, he holds some particular designation which is at high level, maybe a government officer, and he is misusing his powers and discriminating the rights of its employees or people living around him. So any person or office who holds an office or any particular important designation, if such a person is misusing his powers, in that case this right will work. Mandamus. A right is issued when the court finds that particular office holder is not doing legal duty legally and thereby infringing the rights of the individual. Next is prohibition. Under this right is issued by the High Court or the Supreme Court when a lower court has considered a case going beyond its jurisdiction. If there is some case going in the district or the state, but they think that that case has been going beyond its jurisdiction. Okay, its jurisdiction means the areas of power and functions of a court. If the local court is having the jurisdiction, but now the case has gone beyond its jurisdiction, in that case that court case would be shifted to High Court or Supreme Court. Next is quo warranto. If the court finds that a person is holding office but is not entitled to hold that office, in case there are some officers who are holding the office, maybe government office or a private office, but they are not entitled, their qualifications are not up to the mark as required in a particular post. So in that case they can issue a right of quo warranto and restrict that person from acting as an office holder. From that they can remove him from that particular post if he is not eligible. Certiorari is under this right the court orders the lower court to another authority to transfer a matter pending before it to the higher authority of the court. In this upper court, High Court or Supreme Court orders the lower court to transfer a particular case which is going in the lower court to High Court or Supreme Court. So these are some of the rights, and these are just to protect the rights which are given as the fundamental rights in the Constitution. To protect them, the courts give these rights or these special orders to the government to function properly, to protect the rights of the people. Apart from the judiciary, many other mechanisms have been created in later year of the protection of rights. So as this, we can say in this court or we can say judiciary involved completely to protect the rights of the citizen. So here it is a direct role of the judiciary to protect the fundamental rights of the citizen if they are challenged and attacked by anyone. For that they have also made so many rights which the government has to follow. So it is not only the mechanism of the judiciary which functions, but we would also, you must have heard about the National Commission on Minorities. There are some commissions which are working for the protecting rights of the people, like National Commission on Minorities, protecting the rights of the minorities, the National Commission on Women, protecting the rights and empowering women or any discrimination gender on the basis of gender which women faces. The National Commission on Scheduled Caste, as we know, there were a lot of cases like untouchability also. There were so many discrimination based on the scheduled caste. Although it is being prohibited by the constitution, there cannot be any we can say discrimination on the basis of their caste, as we read in under right to equality also. So these institutions protect the rights of women. So someone is protecting the rights of women. Some are working for the functioning of the minorities or Dalits. Before, the National Human Rights Commission had also been established by law to protect fundamental and other kinds of rights. So there has been establishment of this National Human Rights Commission to protect the fundamental rights and other kinds of rights of its citizens. So there is a short note given in your NCERT book. You must go through it. I will give you a question to write a short note on the National Human Rights Commission. This is a very important commission which protects the rights of all the human beings. Let's study it. Not complete. I will give you the introduction. The real test of the rights given by the constitution is in the actual implementation. They are saying, okay, in the constitution it's written we have such fundamental rights for all the citizens, but the actual test is when they are implemented. When there is implementation, then we come to know that how these rights are functioning in the society. The poor, according to the constitution, all the rights are given to all the people and there should be equality. There should be no discrimination, but the poor, illiterate and the deprived sections, the weaker sections of the society must be able to exercise their rights. They are not able to exercise these fundamental rights properly. They have been deprived of these rights because there is so much of diversity in our country, and because of this diversity there is a lot of problem. Independent organization like People's Union of Civil Liberties, these are some of the organizations, or People Union for Democratic Rights, have been working as watchdogs against the violation. So these are some associations, or we can say organizations, which are watching and they are seeing that there should not be any violation against the rights of the citizen. In this background, the government has established. So in this background, the government thought and established a proper institution in 1993. An institution, and its name is National Human Rights Commission. This commission works for the protecting the fundamental rights and the other kinds of rights of all the citizens. So I shall be giving you a note and you will have to read all this particular note and you have to write a short note on this National Human Rights Commission. And the next chapter we will do the further short topic. Till then, thank you.